have more music coming up. Stay tuned to The U.
I'm jumping in with my clothes on.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Stop the talking. Play the music.
Broadcasting from the Millennium Student Center here at the University of Missouri, St. Louis, 1620 AM and online at umsulradio.com. This is UMSL Student Radio, The U.
Yeah, this is The U, broadcasting to you live from the University of Missouri in St. Louis, Normandy, and we are on the air from the Millennium Student Center, seeking and soaking out into the Belle-Nord, into the Pasadena, into a variety of other subdivisions surrounding us in the county. We are leaking into the city as we ride the free. Does that say free? Free data? Oh, maybe it's on the back. Look what it says on the back. The internet's digital freedom. The internet thing's got me a little slightly paranoid. Maybe we can have our station manager come in and give us a lesson on what is this net neutrality actually mean, because I don't know quite, unless you know. Do you know anything about net neutrality?
No, I don't.
We might have to look it up and find. Evidently, some things are changing. I come in, there was no connection to the outside. We could hear music in here and out in the hallway, but nobody could hear me on the outside. Now, is that the beginning of what we're going to feel from this net neutrality, that they're going to pull the plug from the universities?
I have no idea.
Yeah?
I have no idea, Steve. I mean, this topic goes on long enough with social media wars and internet versus the radio. What else could you comment about?
Well,
freedom of speech, all this.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to learn more about it and see what it applies. Evidently, the vote happened today. We need somebody on the knowledgeable scene right now. I should know this stuff. Is Patrick back there? Is Patrick back there? Okay, good. Oh, so far we're okay. I was just wondering if somebody's in the know about this internet stuff. Can you give a synopsis?
Gotta move that way, dude.
No, we're connected. It's working on the outside now. Marcel had me to power that one thing off and
back on. It works.
Yeah, well, so far I think it's hearing from the tune in. We couldn't hear and tune in, and we couldn't hear streaming from the web. And we've got our Savior here connecting us live.
Whenever that happens,
that's
the best recourse of action.
Okay, good.
Occasionally it gets gummed up.
Well,
it just stops transmitting.
Well,
so the best way to do it is just plug it
in. Let me ask you. You're pretty knowledgeable. What is all this going on today about net neutrality? Can you give me a layman's term?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Oh, here. You want to go on? Just a paragraph. 30 seconds or less. What the heck is going on? It's got me nervous. I come in, no internet. I'm thinking they pulled the plug on the university.
Oh, wait, you can't get the thing hooked up?
Yeah, I was trying to get headphones going.
Well, they need to get plugged into this one. It's got a splitter. Plug that into the splitter, I think. Isn't that what?
Well, I mean, that'll work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Into, see if it can get it now.
Oh, wait.
But, yeah. So I want to congratulate all of our SEMPA members here that are walking out the door. A variety of our staff up here at the U are graduating. So
Yep.
I might try to make it up to, was it Mark Twain? To see him walk. If Anton can still walk, he's had what I saw. He had an extreme headache. He might not even be able to walk. So, in about less than a half hour, we've got a jazz vocalist calling in, Gabriele Tranchina. Say that word. Say that name three. Say that name three. Tranchina.
Tranchina.
It's spelled like China. China. But it's Tranchina.
Okay, need wires.
And
Wires are that thing.
oh, good. Now we are getting fully connected. It's like I'm coming back to life. Blood is circulating into my
dude,
fingers
we're in.
now. Okay, now does he want to say
got a
what?
hot mic.
What?
30 seconds or less.
30 seconds or less. A description on net neutrality from our station manager.
Well, program director.
Program director.
Yeah. So I'm the tech dude. Oh, okay. So net neutrality, more or less, what it is that say you have your internet through AT&T, right?
Right.
Your AT&T's coming. You get your internet through AT&T. Well, what net neutrality does is that it allows AT&T. AT&T can't charge people more for connecting to certain sites. Alternatively, they can't deprioritize traffic. So if AT&T came out with something like Hulu, right? Without net neutrality, they could sit there and make Netflix and all its competitors run slower than their own system. So this is kind of a big deal insofar as ISPs, AT&T, Comcast, Cox, all those guys, are now allowed to sit there and pick and choose how fast they make certain kinds of data go through the internets. So, for instance, if they detect that I have a T-Mobile phone and I have AT&T internet, they can deprioritize my traffic because I have a T-Mobile phone, unless I pay more. They could sit there and make Netflix run slower. They could make, all these other kinds of things. So that's why the internet's kind of all in flames today, is because of that happened.
Are you worried about it or concerned?
Yeah, but there's not much I can do because the chairman of the FCC, Ajit Patel, more or less said that he doesn't care about what the average consumer has to say. They're going to do it anyways. So the only thing that they can do is a kind of a legislative side pass and create a law that states that that FCC cannot do this, or that this is out of the FCC's purview. But that's the only way. If the dude that's deciding it says that our comments don't matter, how much can you actually care?
Okay, well, let me ask you this. I've got this iPod. I want to play some Joy. It's playing on here. I've got the auxiliary plugged in.
Okay,
What's
so-
the iPod and nothing was there.
Go ahead and hit play on that. Turn the volume up all the way.
Working on it right now, folks.
Okay, what'd you do? Well, I mean, this is live on the air diagnostics, so
We're on the radio.
it's on the radio, man.
Hey, dude, we're on
I
the air.
had it working, and then
Don't
it
worry,
wasn't
nobody's
playing.
listening anyway.
Actually, yeah, hopefully somebody.
Here, give me that aux cord.
Oh,
The aux cord on this.
I think we know who's listening, Steve.
Here.
Okay, so did it detect? It did not, so that's great. All right, it's somewhere. It's not your phone. It's somewhere in the wire. Give me a second.
Oh, okay, good. So it's not me.
Well, that's bad. Because I don't know how
Okay, so it's not me. It does sometimes feel like I'm messed up, and sometimes it proves out that it really ain't me. It's something else. So that's actually a good feeling. Because I wanted to play off of this new Mac music that I got, and Apple or whatever you call it, and Sheryl Crow is doing something for the
Sheryl
Sandy
Crow.
Hook, and
Yeah,
she wrote a
yeah,
new
I saw
song.
that
I
in
wanted
the
to
news.
play that, and so I really am happy that is out there.
You love yourself some Sheryl Crow.
Oh, I love Sheryl Crow.
You work out to Sheryl Crow.
I love Sheryl Crow from the beginning. You know, years ago I was down at the riverfront. You know, when they had the concerts under the arch, where they really should still do it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And she was playing, and she was rocking out. The whole place was going crazy. This was when rock and roll was really still good kind of
Existing.
rock. You know,
What year was this?
I'll have to think about what year it was.
95, 96?
Well.
During
All
when
I
the-
know is
during-
I was able to get in the section that you had to have like a wristband. Somehow I got in. I couldn't figure out how I got, and I was like right close to the stage, and she's coming over to me. She's rocking out to me, and we got the connection. She's got the eye connection with me. She finished the song, and she zings her guitar pick all the way from the stage into where I'm at.
You felt like a
I jumped up,
you felt-
caught the guitar pick.
You felt
Everybody
like-
was like, ah,
You
yeah.
felt like a 12-year-old little boy again.
Oh man, well, I was a lot younger.
Oh my God,
I was
oh
a
my
lot
God,
younger
Sheryl
then.
Crow.
Give me a break,
Oh
you know.
my God.
I loved it. So yeah, we hope that we could play the Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, it might work.
Oh, you are super here. Let's see. Right now we've got.
Whatever you want to play.
Let's see if we got it on automate. No. It's playing on here. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh, love me some Rachel Sage. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Patrick.
That's our program director, the man.
Joy to the world.
Good job.
Is come.
Joy to the world. Shits will get us in the mood.
Receive her King.
And the thing is,
Let every heart prepare him room.
yeah, I will talk about it after the song. Let's listen to Rachel. Give us joy.
Heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. Joy, joy to the world, joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Joy, joy to the world, joy, 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 joy to the world, joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature, heaven and nature, heaven and nature sing. Joy, joy to the world, joy, joy to the world, joy, 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 joy.
yeah. We got some joy from Rachel Sage here. She's a singer-songwriter that I've loved for years, and we actually had her on the U before. What I wanted to say is we've got a singer, a jazz vocalist calling in about 15, 20 minutes, Gabriele Tranchina. And yeah.
It's like, how do you say that?
Tranchina.
Tranchina.
And so we'll be listening to some of that. In the meantime, I wanted to play this song of Rachel Sage that is really important for our Jewish culture here. I'm in the Jewish society here at UMSL, and there's some really nice people. And let's send this out to everybody celebrating Hanukkah.
I can see Patricia fields out my window. I can see the holiday sale sign in the night. This is how I know it's time for the New York holiday. Is everything expensive suddenly in sight? Could it be right? Hanukkah in the village, Hanukkah on the Lower East Side. Hanukkah, it's an image of menorahs flickering like city lights, like city lights. Do you remember the time that you got me those Hello Kitty pajamas? Do you recall the time that I got you the front row tickets to a lotus? And I wasn't even jealous when you said that she was hot. 'Cause this is the time of season we take stock of what we got. And we got 8 days, a miracle. 8 days when the oil burns bright. 8 days, a miracle, and menorahs. Wandering through Whole Foods down on Houston. Suddenly I'm overwhelmed by the choice. But everyone's so friendly and so helpful. Wandering the lucky aisle, I hear a voice, a beautiful noise. Hanukkah in the village, Hanukkah on the Lower East Side. Hanukkah, it's an image of menorahs flickering like city lights, like city lights. Do you remember the time that you got me those season tickets to the public? Do you recall the time that I got you the box set of Dionne Warwick? And I wasn't even nervous when you looked me in the eyes and asked me to spin your dreidel for the rest of our lives. 'Cause we've got 8 days, a miracle. 8 days when the oil burns bright.
Righteous. Very
Oh,
righteous.
yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, to everybody.
Happy Hanukkah,
Happy Hanukkah.
to all the Jewish people that and everyone that celebrates Hanukkah. It's the third day. You should have 3 candles lit, and it goes to 8. So
It's the season. It's getting close with Hanukkah, Christmas, everything out there.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing, man.
Nope. Let's see if you got. Are you there? Say something, Heavy D.
Heavy D's there.
What about Kwanzaa?
Say something again one more time.
What about Kwanzaa?
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Starts-
We're one step at a time.
Starts the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
6th.
Yeah.
We're going with an active celebration called Hanukkah, and there's a lot of Jewish people out there, and I wish them all a happy time. We got Joy to the World that we played, and we did Hanukkah in the Village from Rachel Sage. I wanted to play some Sheryl Crow. We can maybe still get into that with her what's going on, with the Sandy Hill thing, So Sandy Hook is in remorse today of
Yeah, it's the 5th year anniversary of all that.
yeah. So we'll get to the playing the new Sheryl Crow tune, and I think Radio Mike was going to talk a little bit about an experience he had.
Oh, the Christmas thing last year when I was out walking.
Was it on Christmas?
Christmas Eve. It was like I was out.
Get up on that mic.
I was out walking, actually. I did this crazy walk. I was out on my walking day still, and I didn't buy the bike yet or any of that craziness. I was out walking, and I went down the trail. You know the trail?
Yeah.
Right here? I started in Normandy and walked all the way down to Ferguson.
I always get it mixed up. Is it the Ted Jones Trail?
Yeah, the Ted Jones Trail. And every time I'm out walking, anytime during the day or anything, you hear sirens going, even maybe a gunshot, or I don't know, just anything.
Noise.
Just
City noise,
just like
yeah.
City noise.
Right.
But during that day, on Christmas Eve, it was quiet. There was no siren, nobody yelling, nobody doing anything.
Was there a snow last Christmas?
No, it was just really cold.
Because sometimes when it's got a blanket of snow, everything sounds real
I just for one day, no
quiet.
sirens, no nothing. It was quiet.
Muffled, yeah.
It was like I was out in the outdoors. And I was like, why can't every day be like that here?
Well, really enjoy. Could you hear any birds at all?
Not much. Just a few, maybe. I mean, it was 3 o'clock.
I like when you get up in the early morning when it's real quiet.
You hear the birds going.
Hey, Patrick, thank you very much. Yeah, no problem. Merry Christmas if I don't see you again.
Just a lot going on.
Happy holiday.
There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
Down the city right now, they're doing a meeting or like an election or a town meeting for the new police chief. A bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't have a vote in that. Are they Are they going to nominate the news? How does that work on the new police chief getting put in? Is it from the mayor?
The mayor and a couple other representatives, probably the now acting chief, or I forget that board that they call it. It's not Civic Progress. Although they got the final say. Civic Progress is a group of predominantly, well, not predominantly, exclusively white guys that meet down at the Missouri Athletic Club downtown, everybody on the way to the riverfront. And until here recently, I don't know that any blacks were in there doing anything but shining shoes and being, the courtier.
What's our mayor now? Just say Cruisen?
There is one person on that board, I believe. That
just happened recently. I'm talking about the history of it. down through the years until, well, I guess you say the last
Right.
3 or 4, maybe 5 years. I know they had some group, one of the newscasters, wasn't it? From 95.5.
Mm-hmm.
They had some kind of event down there the early part of this year.
Is it old school radio, 95?
Yeah.
Old school radio.
That's what it was.
That's a good radio station.
KJ,
I listen to them
what's his
sometimes.
name? DJ, man, what's that boy name? I'm having a senior moment.
I have a lot of junior moments too.
Damn. At any rate, they had some kind of a big hoopla down there where they gave awards. I don't know whether it was a fraternity or a group from the radio station or what. I have to research that. But like I say, there's been kind of some noise made about the exclusiveness of the Missouri Athletic Club and its members who go to make up the Civic Progress Board, who dictate to the mayor and have a voice also in who's chosen as mayor. But they're like silent partners. You never hear from them, and nobody really knows a lot about them unless you happen to be in city politics or, city government some kind of way. I used to kind of work in city government, which was a training arm called SLATE. They're still in existence. But what they do is prepare people. At that time, it was like a training arm for people that were going to get civil service jobs. The few slots that were open.
Okay.
So.
Well, hey, Heavy D, hold that thought. We're going to go dip into that subject in a little bit. We've got a call coming in, and I want to have a lead-in of her music before we actually get her on the air. Mm-hmm. And I think we actually spoke about her before. Gabriele Tranchina, that's here now. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Gabriele.
Hi, Gabriella.
Hello.
We're ready for you to call in if you want. You can call into the radio station number. You have that?
Yes, I should have that in your.
I could give it to you right now if you want. I could just say it.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, and we were going to start by playing some of your music in the background off of her new album.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'm good where I'm at.
So you need the number.
Area code 314-516-8438.
I'm glad you got everything up and running.
Yeah, I'm glad too. It was like more than a workout. All my bending. Okay, Radio Mike. I had to get underneath this board. We'll talk about it. We're going to spin your new one in the background while you call in. Okay.
Okay, sounds great.
See you.
All right, I call you in the same.
Okay.
All right. You'll play on number 2.
I catch a sunbeam falling from a sky so clear and blue. I never felt this good before. Now I see life from a new point of view, as it was meant for me, so it could be for you.
Gabriella?
Yes.
Okay, good. Could you hear music in the
Good.
background?
I can hear it. Island Dream.
Yeah, I turned it down. We're bringing you on the air live here at the U, and we have a guest co-host with us, Heavy D.
How you doing,
Wonderful.
Gabrielle?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Highly favored.
Good.
You know?
And we also have another guest co-host, Matt. You want to come over here and sit in this chair? We got new radio people coming on board here, and we're experiencing a new wave as the end of the semester comes. Also, the new already begin to shuffle in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm not.
People have to be broken into, right?
Right.
I'm not really new.
Oh, yeah. Well, Heavy D's
Okay.
not new. It's this Matt guy, Matt McCormick, who just is in the middle. He's getting all plugged in right now. So I want to say welcome to the U. And we got people dancing to your music in the hallway. So, what can you say?
Oh.
That's great. You're connecting with our people as they walk by. They automatically go into a dance mode. So says a lot,
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to welcome you to the U. This is Gabriele Tranchina, and she's a jazz vocalist calling in from where?
I'm calling in from Greenwood Lake, New York.
Oh.
Okay.
Was it snowing out there?
That's about... Oh, yes, it was snowing. Today was the worst traffic weather day altogether.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You have feedback.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, it was a bad day. Here in New York, even if it's just an inch of snow, everything stands still right away.
Wow.
You don't know how to drive in snow.
So far, we've been lucky and didn't get any snow, although I would like to have some here, so I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I'll give you a bit.
Yeah, share some of your snow with us here in St. Louis, will you?
I will.
No, you can keep
I'll
it.
give you all the snow you want.
Yeah.
You can keep that snow.
Okay, so we got up to the mic here, DJ Matt McCormick. Speak in there and let's see
I
if
love
we
that
can hear.
name.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Great.
Good. It sounds good, Matt. And Matt's got to shadow us here and see what goes on in the operation. And we're going to put him to work because he got out of doing his other job. So since he's here, we figure he might as well be put to work. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
He already put that whole stack of CDs in alphabetical order, and I was just joking when I said, dude, put these in alphabetical order, just as,
some busy work.
Give me something to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great. It makes things easier if you can find them,
Yeah, let me see that CD, Heavy D.
Yeah, Gabrielle. Before Steve asked you about where you calling from or where you were, and I had your second tune, Autumn in New York. I was familiar with it. I'm not, I sing ballads and what have you. I played trumpet early in my life. I got a keyboard sitting at home catching dust, But I knew you. I deduced that you were from New York because of that song, And before we go,
beautiful.
Before we go, I might give you my rendition of it.
Please.
Yeah.
So
we would love to hear that. This way, people can see how much I changed the tune.
Well, Heavy D does have quite the voice. I think he also sings in choirs and stuff too. So,
Yeah, I can tell by the way he talks.
Is that right?
He probably has a powerful voice.
I have a melodic voice.
powerful, not melodic.
Well, melodic too.
Well, it could be melodic. You didn't.
If
both are good.
If people can tell you can sing by your voice, it has to have somewhat of melodic connotation
You know,
to it.
you can never tell by the way people talk how they sing, actually.
Yeah, because
sometimes their singing voice can be completely and utterly different.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love your accent. You've got a good German accent there. I would.
Thank you.
It doesn't really come through that much in your songs. I know I did hear a song that you sang in German on one of your other albums. But
well, actually, this one we do one in German too. Ein Alter.
Oh yeah, number 10. Ein Alter.
That's right.
Okay.
But
what was the other German song that you did?
Sing, Siehst du mich is on the CD that I did before this.
Okay, yeah, I was
Song of
listening.
Love's Color. That's the last one.
So that's awful nice of you to sing in German and in English, so we get a taste of both.
Yeah, you get an education.
Right.
Well, I added a few other languages in there too, but
how many?
German and the English is the easiest for me.
Oh yeah, you got Portuguese here. I forgot, and some French.
Oh, okay. You very well.
And Italian. Jeez, this is like going on a international cruise, you know?
Yeah, that's
sure is.
It's the United Nations all in one.
Yeah.
With the number of languages that you just mentioned, that's like 5 languages right there, if my count is correct. You know?
It's 5 languages.
And if Steve could, I'd like for him to, you pull up the words to that Autumn in New York, because I'm having a
Let's see if it's in your insert. Sometimes they have the lyrics on them. I don't know if on.
I'm having a
first,
singing moment.
Yeah, Island Dreams. I've got
of the originals. You have the lyrics of the originals.
Lyrics of the originals, but not the Autumn one.
No.
Okay, that's okay.
Well, I was
we
trying
can
to
deal with the.
You can Google those lyrics.
Yeah.
Google
Vernon Duke.
Yeah. The Autumn in New York is a song that was made up by who?
Vernon Duke.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
It goes way back. There's several jazz artists that have done. I think Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, you know.
Yeah, well, Vernon Duke wrote it. So
yeah.
That is the person who wrote it. And then I'm sure many people have taken their take on Autumn in New York.
Vernon Duke's not any relation to George Duke, is he?
Sir Duke.
So.
Sir Duke.
Now,
you know the song Sir Duke?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Stevie Wonder.
George Duke is a accomplished jazz pianist, you know, here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He's a black guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you might look him up, maybe listen to some of his tunes that he's done.
Well, let me ask you, Gabrielle, what caused you to want to do this Autumn in New York tune?
That's a longer story. Autumn in New York is a very personal song for me. My husband and I used to live in the city, and when 9/11 happened, we were just across the street from the World Trade Center, and we were without a place to live for several months. And wonderful jazz singer Sheila Jordan took us into her apartment, and we stayed with her until we had a place to live. I mean, we had a place to live with her, but until we had a new home.
Right.
And sometimes she had a gig and I went along, and she sang that song, Autumn in New York. And in that moment, the song was so special, and it touched me so deeply that I said that I have to do this song, and I have to find my own version of the song.
That is so cool.
And do it.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
was it
and,
the Billie Holiday version that we were
Definitely.
more inspired
Billie
by?
is definitely one who put her mark on this song.
Mhm.
It's definitely very special.
It's not
There's
like
just
you're
so
trying
many
to
people
sing
who have
it.
done-
Are you trying to sing it like Billie, or are you trying to still sing it your way mainly?
I try to sing it my way, because if you try to copy somebody else, it won't be real, and then you are maybe even being compared to that other singer, and I can never sound like Billie, and it's always best to do your own rendition and to sing it your way and to make a song your own instead of trying to copy another person's version. That's my personal opinion, Besides, who can compete with Billie Holiday?
Yeah. Gabrielle,
She's
you
unique and special in her own way, and I always find if you try to copy somebody's great version, and then it never comes out as good as that person did it, it's just like
We don't have a printer,
it
so
will never be the same,
You were,
Best to be true to yourself and do exactly the way you would do it yourself.
well, you made a good point, because, a lot of singers try to duplicate other singers, versions of songs, and, like, you always have to maintain your own originality, because everybody has a little distinct, I guess you say, calling card
Yes.
that goes with, their particular genre of a song,
yeah.
I think every musician or singer has their own quality, their own sound, and
Right,
their own style,
right.
And,
Exactly.
especially in the days when Billie Holiday was famous, that was the most important about jazz, is that you find your own sound. So that when you open your mouth and the song is played on the radio, people say, oh, this is Gabriele Tranchina, or this is Billie Holiday, or this is Sarah Vaughan. You don't need to think a lot. You hear just a few lines and you know exactly who these people are, because they develop their own sound and their own style.
Exactly.
Wow. You said that so perfect. And it's so true, because we've got a singer in town here, David Surkamp, and he sang with the band called Pavlov's Dog, which kind of broke up, but they're still came back together again, and they almost like a reunion tour thing. But he's got that voice. It's like a vibrato, soprano kind of voice that is like, oh, as soon as you hear him sing something, it's, oh my God, you wonder who he's got a very distinct voice, and so I think that's what you want, like you're saying, is to be able to, within a few notes, automatically say, whoa, that's Gabriele Tranchina,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, if you develop a style, people can also, by the arrangement or, all of this, the instrumentation, they can already say, oh, this sounds like a song that Gabriele Tranchina is.
Okay.
It's a whole, my husband Joe, who's the pianist on the CD and the arranger, we spend a lot of time talking and developing a song so that I have my own sound and that the arrangement is unique.
Well,
And, we don't really stop after we were in the recording studio. We go on and we might add different harmonies to something, or we add other
Well,
things
yeah.
with a synthesizer to it. So there's just a lot
Yeah.
of work that we
And
put
you know,
into
if
it
you
to make it
can,
really-
if you can, please relay to Joe Vincent the kudos of the sound of the CD. It's so wonderful to listen to with headphones on, and it's like you can hear
and
so much.
that's another thing. We really on this CD worked very, very hard that you can hear every single instrument crystal clear.
Right.
Even though we have a bigger band, we are 5 altogether, but we wanted to make sure that the congas are clear or the bongos are clear, and all the instruments are clearly to be heard.
Well,
and that was a big
very nicely.
Big effort of ours, and I think we actually managed to do that on this one.
Well, do you think that there would be a chance that this will get some kind of an award?
Well, I would love it.
Yeah. No.
But it's not all entirely up to me, you know. First of all, people like you have to play the CD on the radio, and it has to be heard, and we have to tour, and we have to promote.
Right.
And hopefully, if it gets enough recognition, then if we're lucky, we can somehow get an award of one or another.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it does take you on a journey. I know earlier weeks we played your music, and I listened to it a few times now deeply. And this one song at the end is a song for India. You kind of go off like, oh my gosh, I can't believe now you're kind of like not so much mimicking, but whatever that is, that the style of I've studied Eastern Asian art, and there was different forms of vocal, and I forget the terms for it. Do you know anything about that?
Well, when I was 19, I traveled for a year to India, and I was able to go and listen to a lot of different Indian music and Indian styles, but I would not say that I'm an expert in Indian music, and that is why we also wanted to make sure that when we did a song for India, that it's just a dedication to India, but it's not like I'm trying to sing a raga or something.
Raga, yeah, that's what I was thinking of, raga. The raga.
I haven't studied raga music. I mean, I would love to do that if we can add another day to the week or maybe 2 days.
Right.
It's to get into that, because that's a whole thing in itself.
Oh,
it's
sure.
Quite beautiful, but it does require a lot of work. Indian singing is quite difficult for us Westerners.
Right. Locally here, we've got a group called the Sangeetha that sing a lot of Hindu stuff, and they go off doing some of the stuff, but it's almost like I cannot believe she did what she did with her vocals. You know, it's like I've never heard anything except you're touching on it in the song for India. You go off and give your vocal cords a real workout, don't you?
Well, in a song for India, basically I'm mainly responding because we have a lot of trading between Joe and me. I'm often just responding to what Joe did before me, and we trade back and forth. But Joe wrote that song, and he wanted me to be very experimental, and that is what I was striving for when I did it.
Yeah. Well, you definitely succeeded at putting a good tune out.
Thank you.
And we're going to be playing that in a little bit, but I wanted to say that our shadow man here, Matt McCormick, came through and he wrote down the lyrics off of the monitor to give to Heavy D because it's in another part of the room. He wouldn't be able to read it from the monitor. So this guy is Mr. Productivity. He's already put in order, alphabetical order, that whole stack of CDs. Alphabetically, he wrote down the lyrics to Autumn in New York. I mean, what more can I give him to do?
I know, I'm being put to work.
Well,
good use.
Good. We put you to work.
That's right.
Should we let Heavy D take a stab at sharing his vocal cords, and you could join in and sing too if you want. I won't.
Well, let me hear what he's doing.
Are you even going to attempt this? I don't want to put you on the spot, Heavy D. It seemed like
man, I love
it. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know in which key he's going to.
Oh, well, should I just put the song on first to kind of like set the tempo?
Why
don't I do that? Put the song on, and then we'll back it down.
I don't mind being on the spot. If that's the case. I just noticed something. You got something written down about Coltrane. Giant Steps.
We were playing some Coltrane earlier.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, here we go. I know who that is.
Very cool, Steven. You're picking up on everything.
Yeah.
It spells the thrill of first nighting. Glittering crowds and shimmering clouds in canyons of steel. They're making me feel I'm home. It's autumn in New York that brings the promise of new love. Autumn in New York is often mingled with pain. Dreamers with empty hands may sigh for exotic lands. It's autumn in New York. It's good to live it again.
Harlem in New York. Why does it seem so inviting? Autumn in New York. It spells the thrill of first nighting. Glittering crowds
And
and
shimmering
shimmering
in canyons
Mm.
of steel.
and clouds of steel. They're making me feel that I'm right at home. I said it's autumn in New York that brings a promising of new love. Autumn in New York is often mingled with pain. Dreamers with empty hands, they sigh for exotic lands. 'Cause this autumn in New York, it's good to live again.
They're gleaming rooftops at sundown. Autumn in New York, it lifts you up when you're run down.
That's another verse.
Jaded blues and gay divorces who lunch at the Ritz will tell you that it's divine. This autumn in New York transforms the slums into Mayfair. Autumn in New York, you
Two other
need no
verses.
castles in Spain. Lovers that bless the dark on benches in Central Park. Greet autumn in New York. It's good to live it again. Where can you find a new romance?
In New York.
The subway runs all day and night.
In New York.
It feels like day when it is night.
In New York.
Where city lights are very bright.
In New York.
I love it summer, spring and fall.
In New York.
I want to live the habit all.
In New York.
Diversity, bustle and life.
In New York.
Oh, lover, take me for your wife.
In New York.
Take me there, take me there.
In New York.
Take me there, I wanna be.
In New York.
Take me there, I wanna be.
In New York.
Take me there, take me there.
In New York.
Take me there, I wanna be.
In New York.
New York, New York, New York.
In New York. Yeah, we're all dancing.
Hey. You sure went to up tempo on that on me. I was kind of dragging with it, but, and then you got a couple of extra verses besides what I have in front of me. So
we did that on purpose, Heavy D, just to
That's
kind of
all right.
like we wanted to hear her sing more. No, just joking.
The next time that I give that rendition, it'll be more in the tempo that you're in.
Actually, it sounded really beautiful, Heavy D, how you blended into that instrumental part there where they went off. You were right there with the same melody. You knew it.
Well, you know. Like,
what did you think, Gabrielle? Could you hear Heavy D sing?
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, you guys are just fooling me.
Oh.
But listen, Gabrielle, are you planning to visit St. Louis anytime? Is that on your agenda, or can you work that out with your rules?
Steven says he's gonna get me a gig.
Yeah.
Oh well, hey, it's here for you. And I was thinking also, can we, like get with the big station?
Sure.
You
sure. But she needs to be on the other radio station, not this campus community one. So we'll do the whole press kit thing and then see what happens. In
the Central West End.
Yeah. Well, there's a jazz crawl.
I would love it.
There's a jazz crawl down in the Grand Center where our Big Brother radio station is. They were on campus here, and then they got too cool for us here, and they left. And they're the 90.7, the St. Louis Public Radio, and they're the big power. They can be heard all around through the whole Midwest. But, radio is being redefined where everybody's listening on their smartphone now anyway. Almost, when you're in your car, you listen to Sirius or one of the other kind of radio. I don't know what a radio is going to be like. What's WIL and KSHE and all the different radio stations that have their frequency. What is going to be their future? Because everything's changing.
Right now, they're doing what you're doing. Is playing.
You have to find your place in it.
Yeah.
That is the thing in life is constant change. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, we didn't even have a cell phone. Now it's like smartphone, and
you
just have to find your place in it, and you have to make sure that you stay in it.
Ride the wave of technology.
Ride the wave. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's, so into these new smartphones or whatever, iPhone, and, they're walking into walls around here.
Yeah. You almost got to put it away. I mean,
on the dark side of it.
People are very distracted these days.
Right.
On the dark side, Gabrielle, we had a young lady that was killed by a train here early part of this year because she was paying more attention to her phone than she was to where she was going.
Got hit by Metrolink?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how serious it is. And I think that we ought to go back to pencil and paper.
Yeah, well,
I think things go in waves, and I think there'll come a time where people realize all the negative sides that, like we are not in the moment anymore a lot, and then there will come another wave that will go back into other directions. You know, a good conversation where you can look people in the eye is something great. You know, it's maybe, to me, it's still the best. I have better conversations than FaceTime or whatever else they have nowadays, you know.
Right.
Because you feel the vibration of somebody and you're with someone in the moment, which, you know, these kind of things kind of get a bit lost at the moment.
Yeah, well, you know, Gabrielle, these phones have become, they're so impersonal. You know, whereas myself, maybe you can't tell it in my voice, but I'm what they call an old head. And I'm, Lord let me live, I'll be 72 in February.
Good.
You know, but I'm here finishing
Congratulations.
I'm here finishing my degree in criminology, which after this semester I'll need maybe 22, 24 hours. But I'm just doing it in slow motion, six hours at a time or whatever.
Well, there's plenty of crime here for you to study, so that ought to keep you busy if you're going to major in that.
Well, you know, my minor is social psychology, in which I've gotten 2 writing courses that I do. One of them is media with Dr. Mike Murray, who has been an anchor man, and, you know, he's been involved with news media for 50 years. He's retired now, supposedly, but they had a retirement party for him a few weeks back.
Well, that's good. At least he gets a retirement party. Some people are showed the door and it's adios, no party or anything.
Well, he had a retirement party, and he's talking about coming back next semester, teach another course.
Yeah.
He says this is going to be his last course.
Huh.
You know?
Hey, well, Gabriella, can you tell us about you? We want to know, what was it, how you studied music? I mean, you grew up, over in Europe? And you came over here? Or give us an overview, please.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Germany, and where I grew up, it was a small town, and there wasn't a lot of, there wasn't a lot of stimulation for me, but I was always really interested in music and art. And when I was 19, I went to travel so that I could get my, I wanted to be away from everything that was familiar to me, and I kind of wanted to find myself, and I was also curious. So India was a place where I saw that there was a lot of different cultures and a lot of different religions, and I wanted to see how people live with different religions and other cultures and so forth. But when I traveled there, I came across a lot of tourists and old hippies, of course. And whenever there was a jam session someplace, and I always joined in and stuff, and people always said, "Oh, you should sing, you should sing." And basically, I asked myself then, what do you really, really enjoy deeply? And I thought singing is the best, and music. So when I came back, I said I want to study music, but I had not a big background, and so I did a teaching degree with, and I majored with voice as a major, and dance was the other one for physical ed.
Wow!
And after I was done, I said I feel like I really want to study specific things, and I couldn't do them in Germany, and so I went to New York. And there I had to look around for a bit to find the right teachers. It's not that easy, but I finally did, and it was good. I got to meet my husband there, and it was all great.
Wow, that was meant to be.
So.
I think when I came to New York, I was like it was so stimulating there.
Mm-hmm.
A babe in the woods.
You have some disturbance in the
Yeah.
phone?
I'm trying
So-
to, yeah.
So my years in New York, I dedicated to jazz, and then I also became more and more interested in Brazilian music, and after that I became very interested in Latin music, and all of that is now incorporated in my style.
Wow.
Yeah, because I could hear that Latin sound coming through in that autumn in New York, you know, because that
With
was
that beat, yeah.
kind of that up-tempo calypso type beat, you know.
The band that I work with, these guys work with some of the best Latin musicians, but they also work with jazz, so they can do both. And
Right.
they're very versatile, and that is basically the kind of musicians I've been working with.
Right. Well, I don't know if Steve has more than one CD, but I'd like to have your CD so I can bone up. So
I can send another one to Stephen. It's not a problem.
Yeah, that'd
well,
be
that
cool.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Plus
Yeah.
The
We can do that for you.
Right. So we're looking forward to you coming here to St. Louis, and I don't know how.
If I come there, I give you the signed CD right into.
oh, yeah.
Beg your pardon?
Autographed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That'd be really unique. Or that'd be tight, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Now let me.
If I can get the whole band with me, that
Oh,
would be
yeah.
greater.
Well, and if you need,
we have
if you need certain musicians, we could give you supply you some musicians here.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll just bring Joe along,
Yeah,
my husband.
and let me hook him up with this guy I know, Kurt Landis, and really, actually, Joe plays keyboards though, right? But
Yeah.
see, Kurt Landis plays keyboards, but they could work that out to where he could do something else. You guys are multi-talented, But Kurt Landis, look him up, will you? And I'm going to tell.
I know him.
You know him. Okay.
I know of him. I don't know him.
Oh,
personally,
he is awesome. He would be perfect for to use as a musical contact here to begin, getting your music ready to be performed. Let's put it that way. Plus, we can ride on his. He's played in every place around town, and we'll just ride his coattail and put you on the bill wherever it is. And that's
great.
That's the way to do it. We've done similar with other artists. Eliane Amherd?
No.
Okay, she was a singer that came to town and did exactly what we're talking about. And you know what? I was actually curious. You have a unique story about how you came over to New York. It's like a love story type thing, almost like a Hallmark mini-series of Christmas, what's going on now. You ever watch those TV shows? Man,
I have tuned into it, and I can stick with it for a very long time.
Yeah, Hallmark. Well, they're short. They keep them short.
Hallmark is a bit too kitschy, a little.
Right, yeah. But I guess that's what I'm wondering. You met him here in the States here.
I was introduced by another vocalist to Joe.
Oh, okay.
And she worked with him, and that's how we met.
Well, perfect.
We met at a club.
Cool. The
Connected.
what was the name?
Right away.
What was the name of the music college that you went to in New York?
I didn't study at a college. I went. I got mainly private people that I studied with. I studied with Mark Murphy, with Sheila Jordan, Nancy Morano, and I have a voice teacher. Her name is Jeannie Lovetri, and her technique is called. You can Google her. her website is the Voice Workshop.
Okay.
The technique is called somatic voice work, and that's the technique I'm doing, and it's, in my opinion, it's the best.
Wow, that's
And
interesting.
I think that when I found her, everything came together, and it enabled me to use my voice in different ways and to put different colors onto my voice. And I have a wide range, and I can belt, and I can sing light, and I can use my voice in all different ways, and that is what I always wanted. And
Okay, well, let me ask you to repeat the name of that teacher again. We got Matt working on another assignment. He's writing down the name of her.
The technique is called somatic voice work, and the teacher's name is Jeannie Lovetri, and you can find her under thevoiceworkshop.com.
Okay. Wow, that's really interesting, because I was reading something else about, there was in your, whatever you want to call it, electronic press kit type thing, bio, there was a name of some college, and it must have been the one you went to over in Germany. It was like an acronym, USDBR.
Johann Wolfgang Goethe University in Frankfurt.
Yes.
I have a degree, but what I really learned and what I needed to know about music, I really learned when I was here.
Oh, good. Well,
yeah,
you got a good foundation.
I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm glad that I have a degree, but you know, you need a lot of other things in order to be an accomplished singer. So I guess, you know, it depends. The time when I studied is very different to what it is now. I'm sure now there are a lot of colleges that have the jazz department and so forth. When I studied, I had to do classical singing, and you know, it wasn't like that the way it is now, you know.
Yeah. Well, right here on our campus here, we've got Estella Marcoux. She's our vocal director, and she is amazing soprano. And we've had her come into the radio station before, and she about shattered that window. She hits notes that are like in a whole nother octave or whatever you call it. Yeah.
Another plateau.
Yeah. Look her up. Stella Marcoux, Markou. You would like her.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
the
great.
big band leader he teaches over there.
Jim Widener.
Jim Widener. You may have known of Jim Widener. He's actually a bass player. So he plays around with a lot of jazz artists. And actually, what I'm thinking would be so cool is to have you come to UMSL, connect with Jim Widener, and put on a performance here at the Two Hill. That would be awesome. Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
we have to connect.
How soon can we make this happen? I'm anxious.
Well, shoot a goal for 2018. We could try 2018.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely has to be 2018. It ain't going to be 2017.
Oh, I was like, I thought you were going to.
2017 is almost over, so it's got to be 2018.
What happens to my earphones? I don't hear.
Unless we connect very, very fast.
Yeah.
I don't hear her no more.
I don't know. You probably got other plans to spend Christmas in New York. Is that?
It came back on.
You've heard of autumn in New York, and now it's Christmas in New York. And you said it was snowing there.
Yes, it is snowing.
It
was snowing last night. It's not snowing anymore, but
how deep is it?
We
Like
have it right here.
Couple inches deep?
We have about 2 inches or so, 3 inches maybe.
Yeah. Now, at the beginning, you said where you were calling from in New York. What was the name of it?
Greenwood Lake.
Greenwood Lake.
This is where I live now.
That almost sounds like it's a resort for skiing.
The hills are not exactly like the German Alps, but they can ski, but it's not very. I mean, for a German, those
right, they sound like little teeny hills compared to what you
they
guys.
Look a little teeny to me.
Right, I know. I went over to Austria with our ski club, and oh my gosh, I was like freaking out when I was in Innsbruck when I saw Axemer Lietzum. You ever heard of that? It's like one of the Olympic hill mountains where they had the Winter Olympics. And
yeah, they do a lot of that there.
Yeah, and
it's known for having great skiing.
Are you a skier?
I know how to ski, but I haven't been on skis in a long time.
Yeah. Well, sometime maybe you can put them back on. I'd like to go again sometime. I'm not really any good. I just had the opportunity to go a couple times, and I enjoyed it. I almost killed myself over in Innsbruck. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I bet.
Going down that, thank God I had a really cool instructor from Slovenia. And if he didn't teach me what he did, I probably would have been wiped out and buried. The one time I was going down this hill so fast, I couldn't control. You know how you got to zig? You got to zig and zag a little bit, and
quite a bit.
Zig and zag.
Mm-hmm.
That's what skiing is all about, the zig and zag.
Well, I've wiped out. If you wipe out more than a couple of times going down, you rapidly lose your strength. Let's put it that way. And my legs were feeling like lead, like an Iron Man. And as soon as you lose your strength, then you're really in trouble too, And when I wiped out this one time, I was like off to the side, and people were like skiing past me and spraying on me, and then I was like, I better move a little bit farther over, and next thing you know, it's like I thought, the sun was like already turning like a rainbow effect with the mist of all the snow, if you know what I'm saying, and I was turning dehydrated, and I kind of got like, you kind of like get dizzy type feeling, like not that you're knocked out, and sure enough, this lady skier comes up to me, and she's like so unbelievable. I thought she was an angel. She was like saved my life. She had with her a bottle of water, and she gave me a drink. And then she had some chocolate, gave me chocolate. Next thing you know, it stayed with me till I got my energy back. And if it wasn't her, I wouldn't have made it down that hill. And so, I made it down the hill, and we partied together with these Austrian army people, army guys.
Oh, my goodness.
And they drink beer like it's water, Oh,
it is their water.
It is their water. Yeah. What a lovely time. I got to go back to Austria. That's my homeland. That's where my heritage comes from. And my mom's mom came from Austria, so that's immigrant family over here. And so
that sounds great.
Yeah. Which part of Germany were you from?
I grew up about a half an hour south of Frankfurt.
Oh, okay.
So that's the south.
It's not near the Black Forest, is it?
No, the Black Forest is further south.
Okay, gotcha. Bunderland or whatever it's called?
Frankfurt is the hub.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the main, yeah. Wow.
Listen,
can you speak some German for us?
Aber natürlich.
Naturally?
Was möchtest du denn hören?
What do I like to hear?
Alles auf Deutsch jetzt?
I study German here at UMSL, and I'm still involved in the German culture group. We drink coffee and eat cookies and kind of learn from each other. It's always nice to have somebody that really speaks German to actually let them go and speak it, because it's such a beautiful language.
I think every language can be very beautiful. It always depends on who is speaking it,
Oh, wow. Ding, ding, ding. Good answer.
All right. That was a winner.
Yeah. I think she should be president of the UN.
Yeah. So, Gabrielle.
Yes, my dear.
Oh, don't say that like that.
What?
Listen, I'll say when we get you here, because I want to be involved in the effort, and I'm letting Steve know that.
Well,
putting him on notice as we speak.
Yeah.
I want to be involved in the effort and getting you here, because appreciate the time that you've taken to interview with us. And me, I'm just.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm just kind of, tagging along.
Well, you're fine. You're great. You can introduce her when she takes the stage. How about that?
Yeah, well, that sounds like a plan.
Oh, yes.
And my other thing was going to be if I could, sing a song or two, maybe that Autumn in New York, I would have it to perfection. But
now you're cutting into the money thing, unless you donate it.
We might be able to work that out.
Okay. We want to make sure you got to make it worth your while. I know how it is, we can help you out in a variety of ways too, lodging and other stuff too, so that can save you some money. And main thing is to make it worth your while. Otherwise, it's almost like, why am I going all the way to St. Louis, and take a loss,
Yeah, well, we'll make it.
Right. Hey, well, we don't want to end the talk right now, but I was hoping that we could play one more tune. What would be a good tune that we could play? And then, have you don't go anywhere. Just let us play, because some of the people are out there kind of getting tired of us just talking. They want to hear music. They're looking at me like, they want to dance.
Well, they want to dance. They want to dance.
Probably something move, It's the end of the semester. They finished their tests. They're ready to go holiday.
Shake a leg.
Shake a leg, shake a leg now.
We could do maybe Omohu Now Teng Vase.
Oh.
Even a song for India is very dense.
Well, we'll get to the song for India later, because that's a long one. And I'll let that play too.
Melio Stasera is nice.
Yeah.
Dance
it's
to.
the
That's kind of a rumba
Italian
flamenco.
one. I like that O Moro Now, the Portuguese tune.
Omohu Now Teng Vase.
Why don't we play that?
Yes, that sounds great. And that's a Chopin tune.
Yeah, here we go. Can you pronounce the title?
Omohu Now Teng Vase.
Thank you.
Já foi demais, mas olhem bem vocês, quando virem vez ao morro, toda a cidade vai cantar. Oh morro, não tem vez,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, now. A mess I'll tell you from days at a time. He tell you how it's time to rock. Get up and get down all around this man's town in St. Louis, Missouri.
With Gabriele Tranchina.
That's right. You know, I was
right.
Tranchina, you pronounced it Tranchina, and it made me think of something, not that I'm comparing you to a worm, but the kind of worm is spelled pretty much the same way.
What's it called? Turkana?
Turkana worm. You know, it's a worm that's found supposedly in pigs. I think in pigs.
Ooh, now you're making me crazy. But your name, with it being the China part at the end, do people say Trey in China much?
Yeah, pretty much. It's my husband's name, and it's a Sicilian last name.
Oh, is that what it is?
So
Sicilian.
Oh.
It can be messed up in many different ways. Tranchino, Tranchina. I don't know. People say it all kinds of ways.
That's yeah. And I love Sicilians.
It's not an easy name.
The Sicilians make wonderful food. There's some wonderful restaurants here in town.
Yeah.
When you come here, we'll have to go out to dinner.
Oh, yeah. Great.
So,
we're gonna have
now what was your maiden name in auf Deutsch?
Mein deutscher Name.
Not deutscher Name. Ich heiße...
Deal.
Hmm?
Deal. And when people didn't know how to say it, I said, think of a good deal. And they never forgot my name.
Eel.
But it's D-I-E-H-L.
Deal. Oh, okay.
Deal.
Yeah, there's some Dealmans over here. That's a popular name, Dealman. Dealman.
They got Dealman Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's just Deal.
Yeah.
D-I-E-H-L.
Did they shorten
No,
it? They didn't shorten it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because sometimes that's
the way
what's the
it is.
beauty of a lot of the name structures. When people came over from Europe, they either dropped part of their name or they added to it. There was, like mine, Angel Meyer, Engel Meyer, and then there's other people that do the similar thing where they would just be Engel, and not, So,
But Engel is a name.
yes.
My neighbor, their name was Engel, nothing else, just Engel.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means angel.
Right. That's where I get the name of my Angel Meyer Productions. That's what my...
Oh, that is great.
Mm-hmm. And I changed the spelling of the Meyer at the end, M-E-I-E-R instead of M-E-Y-E-R. So it's interesting.
So why that could be that it comes from Austria, the Meyer, because in German you would definitely go E-I-E-R. Meyer.
Right.
M-E-I-E-R.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, my maiden name in Austria was Eberhard.
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 Eberhard. What does that mean?
That's somebody's first name.
Oh.
Like Carl or Eberhard is a first name.
Oh, that's strange. That's their last name is the Eberhard, and I thought it meant something like forever, your heart
No.
Your heart beats
No.
forever. No, the heart is
It's very nice that you think of that, but no.
I'm wishing there. I'm stretching it a little bit too much.
Stretching it.
Well,
But,
what's the word for heart? Heisen or
Heart is Herz.
Herzen, yeah.
Herz. That's Herz.
Heart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I love the, like I was saying, I love the German language. Do you know any other German songs besides what you've recorded?
Yeah, I do. But on the CD, we concentrated on the last CD and the CD. The German songs that we picked were a poem, both poems, from Else Lasker Schüler. And my husband, Joe, wrote the music to it. So, Ein alter Tibet-Teppich is actually a poem by this artist.
Oh, okay. One. Yeah, what does that mean again? A Tibet, what pitch?
Ein alter Tibet-Teppich means an old rock from Tibet.
An old rock from Tibet. Wow, interesting.
And it's about how two people love one another and how their energy and their love is like a carpet. They're woven into each other like threads on an old Tibetan carpet.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. She writes absolutely beautifully.
So I could, let's see, that's probably in your lyric handout. I thought I saw it. Yeah. An old Tibetan rug. Yeah.
Yes.
Gabrielle.
Yes?
You have a Christmas CD coming out, or are you thinking about one or what?
If I think about what?
A Christmas CD?
Oh, actually, I am thinking about that, but we would have to make that CD and maybe put it out next year for the Christmas time.
Well, what you could do is
beautiful Christmas arrangements of stuff. Yeah, yes, we definitely want to do that.
Could you do like
on my to-do list.
what do you call it? A demo, just not real professional, where you get your husband to take a video of you singing something like Jingle Bells or whatever, and just put that on your website, you know, because a lot of the singers are doing that now.
Yeah.
If you want it, it's no big deal.
One thing that I cannot make my husband do. He doesn't do anything quickly, and everything is done very thoroughly. So
Precisely.
Well,
we do that CD and we work on it, and then we'll put it out.
Okay, Joe.
That'll be good.
Maybe you need to give Joe some more coffee.
Oh, he has plenty of coffee.
Spark him up a little bit.
He loves his little espressos.
Yeah, it's amazing how many songs you can get recorded if you give them some espressos.
Well, I make sure that get them espressos out for him and get that done real fast.
Yeah, what is this Vera Cruz tune is really good too. God.
Vera Cruz is written by Milton Nascimento, and Vera Cruz is actually the original name of Brazil. And it was written at a time where the political climate was not so great in Brazil, and there were a lot of singer-songwriters that wrote lyrics, but they had to do a political message, but it was a hidden message. So even though if you listen to the song and if you get the translation, it actually sounds like a love song that that person, Vera Cruz, left, and the person cannot, who sings it, cannot find her, or where did she go? But actually, it's basically a person who is talking about that he feels like he's losing his identity because he cannot recognize his country anymore.
Wow.
So I found that to be, a really profound. And the song, the first time I heard the song Vera Cruz was actually by one of my mentors. His name is Mark Murphy. He's unfortunately not alive anymore.
Sorry.
And when I heard the song, I love the dynamics of the song, where the slow and then the up-tempo and back to the slow and then the up-tempo again. And then, of course, when I started to learn it, I listened to many different versions, of course, also Milton's, but I really love Elis Regina's version of Vera Cruz as well, and Sarah Vaughan song in English. In English, it's called Empty Faces.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Sarah Vaughan is definitely you know, one of the more renowned.
And Lenny Hall wrote the lyrics in English, who was one of the main singers from Sergio Mendes.
Oh, cool.
Brazil 66.
Yeah, right. So Sarah Vaughan was really a renowned jazz singer. She could lay it down, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
No doubt.
So how soon can I look forward for my CD?
He's trying to see if I let him borrow this one, and it's no way.
Yeah.
You can't have this one. This one's mine.
Hey, you can have mine when it comes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll get you one. Don't worry.
Okay.
The other CDs you got are nice too. I would have thought that Kate Smith would have shared some of your earlier works. Is this the first CD that she promoted for you?
Yes, that's the first CD.
Oh, okay. No wonder she. I thought maybe she would have sent you earlier.
The CD was a different promoter, and the first CD I didn't promote at all.
Yeah. Well, Kate Smith is awesome. I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm so happy that she turns us on to so much wonderful singer-songwriters such as you. We appreciate all the promotions that you send.
When I send you another copy of this CD, I can send you the old CD.
Yeah, that would be good because
as well.
When we play your music, we could do a mix of it, you know.
Gabrielle.
Absolutely. Yes, my dear.
When you send that CD, you can autograph the cover of it, can't you?
Sure.
So my name is David Clinton. You probably know my Uncle Bill, once removed.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can make it like David and then put it in parentheses, Heavy D.
Well,
Clinton.
or you could just wait till she comes to town and let her autograph.
I don't want to wait. Don't be telling me about it.
Yeah, whatever. If she can.
I got to wait long enough for her to get here. Sometime next year.
We'll do it exactly the way you want it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, you're so kind. You know.
Oh.
And
my pleasure.
Do you ever do you know about King Pleasure? Have you done anything? You know,
I have not done any music by King Pleasure, but of course I know King Pleasure.
Oh, you do? Yeah, well, you know, I've done
He's the root of all the blues and everything, you know.
Right.
One of the old-time greats.
Yeah, I used to sing that particular song. Well, it's called Moody's Mood for Love.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes something like this. There I go, there I go, there I go. Pretty baby, you are the one that snaps my control. Such a funny thing, every time you're near me, I really can't explain. You give me a smile and then I'm wrapped up in your magic. There's music all around me, crazy music, music that keeps drawing me so very close to you. You get the idea.
Lovely.
Oh, that's
to
nice.
be continued.
That's good.
Very beautiful.
Way to go, Heavy D.
Yeah, you know.
Do you know of Eddie Jefferson, an old jazz?
Sure.
Yeah.
He's more like vocalese type. He did a song called Billy's Bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of Eddie Jefferson.
Oh, okay,
Great.
good. Yeah, that would
Very
be.
creative artist.
Is there anything?
Unfortunately, a very short life.
Yeah.
You know, he had gambling problems, and they killed him, I think, right?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, sort of like David Ruffin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of him.
They killed him. He had gambling problems, and they got to him.
Yeah, you ever heard of David Ruffin?
No.
What is he?
You know, the Temptations. He was the first lead singer for them. They killed him the same way he got caught up with drugs and what have you.
What's his name again?
David Ruffin.
Oh, okay. I'll look him up.
His brother still
Because I know the Temptations, but I didn't know the name.
Yeah, he was the first lead singer for them. And his brother Jimmy. his brother Jimmy Ruffin was the one that they were actually after. But when they heard David, they took him because he had that tenor voice, and he was off the chain. The boy was bad. He just got caught up, like a lot of, musicians do.
Maybe he wasn't too proud to beg.
Hey.
Well, nowadays musicians are all vegetarians and go to bed at 8 o'clock.
No.
That quick.
8 o'clock in the morning. Shoot, after they leave a gig, they somewhere in one of these restaurants, the ones that stay open late to, open all night.
Till the sun comes up.
Till the sun comes up, then they go home and go to bed.
Yeah, well, I think at least here in New York, the days where there were late gigs and late gigs, this whole thing has finished.
Oh, interesting.
People, most shows, the latest is 11 o'clock, but there's no other set from 12 to 2 and then from 2 to 4 or something. These days are over.
Yeah. No. What's that really good jazz club in New York? Was it the Blue Note or whatever? Which one am I thinking?
I mean, the Village Vanguard is a very
Vanguard?
Yeah, Village Vanguard.
Okay.
But that's the dope.
That's the real deal. But there are many very good jazz clubs in New York.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is wonderful. And there's a small club called Smoke, which has really great music. Many great clubs.
I want to go to New York.
Kitano is great. I had my CD release party at the Kitano.
Oh.
Which is a wonderful club.
When was that CD release party?
That was in October.
Okay, so this is pretty new.
Right.
Yeah.
Brand new.
You ever heard of Leo Cheers?
No.
The man in the red vest.
He was a St. Louis jazz DJ from back in the day. And when you said the Blue Note,
the Blue Note,
that was the name of the club he used to play out of all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just came to me because somebody was asking me that last week or whenever it was, and I couldn't think of it.
Well, there's another name of a New York jazz club that I haven't heard yet. It will hit me in the ear when it happens, because when I was in Manhattan, I was going to go there, and I can't remember the name.
The Jazz Standard, the Blue Note.
The Blue Note. You just said it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the what I'm
thinking.
I know. Well, that's what I'm thinking. She didn't say Blue Note earlier.
Yes. Well,
no,
you said Blue Note.
I said Blue Note, but
well, the Blue Note is probably the most famous club in New York.
Yeah.
But Birdland is also...
Birdland.
That was probably...
not the original Birdland anymore. But Birdland is a great place to listen to good music.
That was probably named after Charlie Parker.
Yeah. Or Donald Byrd.
Exactly. The original Birdland was basically the home of Charlie Parker. That was where he got famous.
But that was his nickname, Yardbird.
Bird.
Named after him.
No, Yardbird.
Yardbird?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just the bird. Yardbird Suite. There's a
Suite.
Yeah, I know that song. Yeah, wow. Do you do any Charlie Parker?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hard act to follow. It ain't no everybody.
You have to be like Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, and you first have to design lyrics to do over his solos,
Right. In fact, they did a rendition of Birdland, didn't they?
Mm.
They did many renditions of a lot of stuff.
Well, I thought they did specifically.
Yeah, John Hendricks just passed away.
Oh, did?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
but he was 90. I think he was 97 or something. He was really up in age.
Right.
So we were lucky to have him for that long on this planet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, Gabrielle, we got a local musician here who's a keyboard artist. And
hey, we got Jim Punica in the house. Come on in.
His name is James Matthews. They call him Ironhead.
Interesting.
Gabrielle,
Yeah.
have you ever heard of him?
No.
You're putting her on the spot. She's not supposed to know everybody all over the planet.
I wish I would know
The
everybody.
reason I ask, because he's not only known locally, he's traveled to China and some German towns and whatever. He's not just known locally. He's
that's wonderful.
International. And he's recently come back home. And I'm going to have to try to look him up. Maybe we can introduce you guys once you get here.
That's great.
He's so such an exhibitionist that we were at a show one time and he was playing his piano with his butt.
That sounds like Peter Williams would do.
Wow.
Yeah, well, he's
what a way.
Peter Williams followed him. Peter Williams followed him because.
Oh, really? He probably picked it up from him.
Because Ironhead's he's older than me. Ironhead's about 75.
Oh, okay. So all those moves that Peter does, you think he kind of
I'm sure he did.
grabbed him?
Because
this we got a local jazz pianist called Peter, P-T. And he does a spin around. He'll be playing the keys, and all of a sudden he'll just do a complete spin around and keep it right on key.
When you see him again, ask him, did he get that from Ironhead?
Okay,
James Matthews.
He'll probably say, "What are you talking about? That's my move."
Right. Well, if he's honest, he'll tell you where he got it from. But
tell us about your stage presence. Can you paint an image for us while how do you perform live, Gabrielle?
I perform live.
Yeah, do you go around dancing and jumping and stuff?
Well, I think that when I sing, I don't I might tap my feet and stuff because you have to stay in the beat of things. But when you sing, you have to be grounded. So I don't jump around. But let's say if the band is taking a solo or something, I might be moving around.
Yeah,
dance a little.
That's what
it also depends how big the stage is and so forth.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing how.
But jazz is jazz, or the kind of music that we do. Even though it's dancey, that's also listening music. So you want to make sure that you have your power and that you're grounded. So if you jump around too much, you get out of breath and you can't sing anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing how some of these singers are doing all what they're running around, and you would think they'd be more out of breath. That's where
they are out of breath, but they have probably some CD in the background that is playing, and they just
where it's kind of backing them up. If
you
not that they're lip sync,
sing at the same time, it's just very difficult.
Right. Hey, we've got another radio personality that just joined us. Jim, we want to introduce yourself to Gabriele Tranchina.
Hi, Gabriella. My name is Jim.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Steve is a big music expert, so I'm very blessed to be in the studio with him today.
Thany you.
Yes, he is. He
is.
Well,
I love music.
And I'm
love jazz.
I'm very grateful that I met him through Kate, our radio promoter.
Right. It's pushed this wonderful music to us, and when I go through them, I know automatically which ones I'm going to play. And she's been getting quite a bit of airplay on the Jazz at the U here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Hey, Gabrielle, I want to tell you, since I've been on board, I've been, you know, I've been, 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 I've b I've been feeding Steve a lot of knowledge, you know. You hear me, Steve?
Oh, I know. It's amazing because
Yes.
Heavy D comes up with real life stories that, you know, he was able to connect with some unbelievable talent right here in town. And I knew right away I had to grab him and use him as almost like a resource. I hate to say I'm using you, but Heavy D was out in the streets basically here, riding. He goes around in his cart, you know, scooter, and he has a hard time moving. And the first time I saw him, I was like, "Oh yeah!" And automatically, didn't I welcome you in?
Yeah.
I knew, I could sense, and he came in, and automatically he knew about the Isley Brothers. He knew about Temptations, on and on, and it's like so much wealth of information right there.
Wow.
OJ's.
Amazing.
You know.
Well, it's nice when somebody has been around the block and can tell us about all the stories, you know.
Well, I'm glad and grateful to be able to share with someone because, see, Steve has been my mentor since I've been here. I can truthfully say that no one else has welcomed me aboard such as he has with, you know, just open his doors, open his arms, open his heart. And, you know, we've been doing it ever since for almost a year now. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to get him to have his own show. If you don't get the idea behind it.
Well, I'm trying.
He is supposed to have it on Monday evenings.
Yeah, but I have these.
I think that would be great.
These courses have been keeping.
If he has all that knowledge, then he can really talk about all these very important history.
Right.
And more than that.
And especially in a college radio station, I think that would be very much appreciated. You know.
And more than that, I like to be able to play music in the background while I'm talking, because I know people get tired of hearing you just talk.
I agree.
You know.
Well, maybe we should play another song.
Yeah.
What do you
Sounds
think?
like a plan.
Yeah. Well, you know, we can always play stuff in the background. Sometimes people get upset that you would talk over their song, but it is good background.
Yeah.
And this right now is the title tune of her new album of Sailing
That's
Ships
correct.
and the Stars in Your Eyes.
Stars in your eyes.
We stayed up all the night talking. Time seemed to subside. We easily shared our feelings, deeply held inside. We talked of everything, just how the gull took wing of sailing ships and the stars in your eyes. The sky above was a haven from the world we knew. The ocean supplied the music we would listen to. Our love grew through the night. We dreamed till morning light of sailing ships and the stars in your So many years have gone by us since that night sublime. We have discovered our love spans galaxies of time. Still, to this day I find images fill my mind of sailing ships and the stars in your eyes. Of sailing ships and the stars in your eyes.
He changed.
Wow.
Great song.
Yeah, I love it. Now, tell us about that song.
Well, Joe wrote this song long before we met one another, but when we met, we went through some of the things that he wrote, and I really connected to the song. And I also think I like that the song has a wider range, and it has a very nice flow of it. And it's also, the song is also very, it's a little bit of a pop tune, you know. So it's very contemporary.
Right. It definitely catches you, makes you feel like you want to sing along, you know.
And it's got really beautiful lyrics.
Yes.
And it's got a really nice melody to it, you know.
Yeah. So that's a good way of picking that as your title to your
Yes, we actually thought about it because I felt that on this CD I picked a few songs that were a little bit more lyrical, and each song was very romantic, even the up-tempo ones, and we thought that this title would be the right one as a thread through the whole CD.
Yes. Very visual.
Gabrielle,
Yes?
I hate to run, but duty calls. I got 2 papers to finish before.
Yeah, we don't want that villain getting off scot free. You need to study up on your criminology.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm going to be focusing more with helping Alzheimer, dementia-type patients, because I live in a senior citizen building, and I've begun to see it firsthand. And I got this old 90, I guess she's 91 years old now. She just had a birthday. And I keep her mind active by playing dominoes and chess, checkers, or whatever.
Well, that's great.
And, you know, I think that this ought to be a program that is permeates among the various senior citizen homes, and I'm hoping to be able to get some government funds to help me, push this particular program.
Right. Well, music is real healing too.
And then, and we be playing music.
Music is also very good for dementia and Alzheimer patients because
Right. It's like music is a therapy.
very special way.
Music is a therapy for, just about anything. And
Music is also good for the brain.
exactly. It's like I say, it's a therapy. And I'm looking forward just, because more than there's plenty of criminals out there to work with. And if I can divert a program to try to help them with housing and shelter and job the job market and what have you. I kind of like to make it a twofold effort. But these dementia, Alzheimer's patients are becoming more prevalent in our society. And a lot of people don't know how to deal with them because they get aggravated because they ask you the same question 25 times. You know.
Sort of like I've been doing.
No pun intended. But, you know, it's a needed entity in terms of, you know, being able to lend a hand to those that can't really help themselves. You know.
Absolutely.
And you know, like I say, there's several of them in my building. And you know, my health aide, she works with one of them. She's gotten, you know, her as a client since she's been working with me. And she helps her dress and lay her clothes out, you know, remember to eat. Because a lot of them, you know, they get hung up on sweets, as a lot of us do. And sweets, you know, like kills your appetite for the moment, but there's no real nourishment there. And so they'll tell you they ate when really they ate some ice cream and cookies and what have you. You know, and you know, it's just like I say, no real nourishment in what they've eaten. And so it's imperative to be on them, like, you know, like the saying goes, once a man, twice a child. That applies to women too, or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, Heavy D, you better get busy then. You've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he's putting me off the air now. But as I leave, you remember how I want that CD autograph.
I'll remind her.
You know.
Don't worry, we'll get everything to you.
All right, sounds like a plan. And we'll be working.
It's a plan.
We'll be working double time to get you here.
Yeah.
By the spring of the year.
Oh.
You know. And whatever I can do.
Lovely.
Hey, well, we're going to be working on it. And the other thing.
Hey, I got the theme here. Instead of autumn in New York, let's do spring in St. Louis.
Hey, sounds like a plan. You know.
Or we could say meet me in St. Louis.
Yeah, good.
That's
I've heard of that somewhere before.
That was a movie, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so
right.
you know, they said St. Louis is the gateway to the West. You know, and
have you ever been to St. Louis before?
Me, no.
Well,
we'll
there
show
you
you
go.
a good time.
There you go. You got a reason to come. You get to touch the arch.
Come, that's for sure.
Speaking of touching the arch, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna kick my soapbox out from under me. The paper that I'm writing,
Yeah.
the Jefferson Bank protest.
Okay.
Percy Green climbed the leg of that arch.
Oh my gosh.
You know, he and a white guy. You know, they had a leg apiece. They hadn't even finished the arch part. You know, this was in, what, 73, 74?
Oh, earlier than that.
Google it. No, the Jefferson Bank strike protest took place from 63 to 67. But he climbed
the arch wasn't completed till...
I didn't say it was completed.
Oh, okay.
You didn't hear me.
Right.
Put on your Judge Judy ears.
But I mean, even when it was in construction, it wasn't more in the end of 60s than 70. Pretty sure.
Check your data.
I'm going to check my statistics.
Look up, Percy.
Because I got a picture. My dad took a picture of me and my sisters next to it when it was still in construction, and I was just a little boy.
Oh, wow.
Well, when he climbed it,
Yeah.
I stand to be corrected, but I'm sure it said 1973 or 74.
Wow, that's been
He did that.
Okay.
He did that to heighten or shed light on the Jefferson Bank protest.
Okay.
Because they took so long about, settling the matter.
Well, that gives you more of a reason now to come to St. Louis so you can climb the arch. That would be a good promotional picture. She's sitting on the arch. She's sitting on the arch singing.
But I would do it for promotion.
Yeah.
Well,
they do let you go out onto the arch.
Well,
if you're lucky, you can go up into the arch.
In the leg of the arch, you got an elevator that takes you to the top.
Right.
You know, I've been up there maybe.
They've had pictures
and then
of.
You can slide down.
Yeah.
You'll be coming down a lot faster than you go up. might have a crash landing.
Right.
Gravity brings it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the theory of relativity.
Exactly.
Right? What goes up must come down.
Or Newton, right?
Yeah.
The apple.
Isaac Newton.
Newton's apple.
Yeah, I got an apple right here. Let's see if it proves out. Law of gravity.
Yeah, watch that, Steve.
There it is.
I'm going to eat it anyway. Well, good.
So
I am so glad that Heavy D got a chance to be here and talk with you. Sometimes you don't know if he's going to be here or not, but it worked out good.
I was getting ready to leave before I even came in here, but I told the little guy, Mike, the understudy that came in, I said,
Matt.
Matt, right. I said, I think I'll stay around a while and go up in the booth, and then you see I've been here 2 hours.
Well, sometimes time just zooms when you're having fun listening to this good jazz.
You know, I'll do anything to avoid homework, too, sometimes.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to avoid this, because these papers are determining my grade, and I got to have me.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in class somewhere?
Not class, in the computer lab.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know what I got to do? Like I said before, I'm going to play a song for India. I'd love that, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that goodbye right yet, but I'm going to put that on for sure.
Well, you know, I got a little cousin named India. So
India Ari?
No, it was India Collins. I don't know what. You know what? Ironically, she married one of my first wife's nephews.
Huh.
That's a small world.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
You've heard of India Ari, right?
Yes.
Okay, I figured.
Tito Pointe made her famous for a break when she was really young.
Mm-hmm.
She did an album with him. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Very talented singer.
Yeah, she has actually been here at the Two Hill and performed, and it's been quite a while back. I went to that concert. She had her hair kind of like shaved down to almost like not bald, but really short, you know.
I didn't know she had cancer.
Oh, is that? I don't know. I don't think it was because of cancer. It was just that style of haircut that she.
Yeah, that's the latest.
No, yeah, she it wasn't nothing to do with cancer, but it was kind of odd to see a woman like her. She's normally, I think, has long, beautiful hair, but her hair was down to like the nubs.
So short.
And she sings beautifully
if you have a pretty face,
plays guitar.
Good,
plays guitar. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, that's
she earlier. Gabrielle earlier talked about a song for India. Jim's walking into not knowing what was the reason why he picked it. I don't know if you're going to say something, explain, Gabby? Gabrielle.
A song for India?
Yeah.
Well, it's a song that my husband Joe wrote, but I also have spent I lived a year in India, and so I connected to it as well, because I like to dedicate. I wanted to dedicate something to India, and it's the song goes through different moods and arrangements. It's almost like a little journey, and it's a lot of different improvisation involved in a song for India. But if you were, like here in New York, we have some interesting neighborhoods. There is one where they have a lot of Middle Eastern discotheques in Queens, and I could see that song could be played in a disco even, because it has a really strong beat, and one could actually dance to it really well too.
So you've got like a little India there, like a little China. Or what,
We have
It's a
Little
district.
India
A district.
in Queens. That's for sure.
And they've got a lot of that kind of food there, India food.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Is it
New
southern
York has
India or
everything of everything? You know.
is it
can
southern
find-
Indian food or northern Indian food or both? A little
They
bit
have
of everything.
Yeah, because the
They have everything, from
one
the
part
north
of
to
it's
south.
Hindu, and the other part is something else. I forget.
There are many different languages and religions in India.
Okay.
But you have to kind of separate between north and south mainly, but even between north and south, there's so much in between that each area has their own way of cooking and they use their spices differently. And also when you're in the south, you're more in a tropical climate, so the coconut becomes more important and there's more curries. Whereas in the north, like if you're in Kashmir and that area, the Muslim and the Mughal tradition have more dominance, and the food is very different there. And it's not rice-based in the north; it's more based with a chapati bread.
Oh, good.
You guys been to that?
So,
Now you're getting me hungry.
Hey, no, I don't think you get a hamburger there, Steve.
let's go.
Listen, Gabrielle,
I could do
we
it
have
myself,
in India. Well,
too.
we probably have several of them, but I've eaten at this one particular one that's out there. I guess you say U City, right there at 170 and Olive,
Oh yeah.
or 170 in Delmar. You know, it used to be a bakery and stuff back up in there.
It used to be the old IHOP.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's an Indian restaurant there. You been there?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of.
I've been
There's
to-
a sushi place there too, but that's different.
I think they have sushi.
Yeah.
Nobu's is there at 170 and Olive.
Nobu. That's more sushi though.
Oh,
Right.
Nobu.
Yeah, it's terrific
Expensive.
sushi. My wife and I have been going to Nobu's for 30 years.
Oh, I love sushi.
There's a Nobu in Manhattan too, you know.
Oh, really?
Some have to sound.
And I think there's one in California as well.
Gabrielle?
Your headphones might have got unplugged. Look and see where you're plugged in.
Yeah. Jim stepping on. Wow.
Yeah. We hear you, but you can't hear us.
Okay.
Yes, we hear you.
This is short because as soon as he lifted it, I can hear.
Are you okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gabrielle,
Yeah?
I'm signing off. You know, oh, well, I was trying to think of a song. I had thought of one earlier, but on my way out the door, I know you're familiar with Lou Rawls, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
He did a Christmas album, Lou Rawls.
right. And that brings to mind one of the songs that's kind of a Christmas. Well, it is. Nat King Cole did it, I think. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping
Christmas
at your
song,
nose.
yeah.
And so they've been said
Many
Many times,
many ways. Merry Christmas to you and Joe. And this
Yeah, keep on.
You have a buzzer?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and Joe.
Awesome.
Bravo.
It is finals week, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks, Heavy D. We'll see you next
right.
year. Merry Christmas to you if I don't see you again.
You on-
This is the campus is closing, shutting down next week because all the classes are
You
come
won't
to
be
an
in
end.
next Thursday?
I don't know. I think I still will
You ought
be
to
able
come up
to do
anyway.
something even
Let's
though
do
the
some
classes
Christmas
are
stuff.
over. So we'll just play it by ear. Sometimes they lock this student center up. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll have to look at the
I'll
schedule.
bring my sledgehammer. That was the song. Sledgehammer.
Oh yeah. Okay. Bye, Heavy D.
Good. Good, 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 good,
Well, now we are wondering what your goals are for the future. Are you already set for to do something? What's your next project, Gabrielle?
At the moment, I'm just going around to look for CD release parties in other places for 2018. And then Joe and I were going to sit down and read through new material, and we're going to work on a new CD. And also, as I said, Christmas CD is definitely on our to-do list as well.
For next Christmas.
For next
or another future Christmas. You'd have a busy schedule to meet this one. Although you could maybe put some kind of song together real quick and do a bootleg video and put it out on YouTube, you know.
One could do that. You know, nowadays people don't spend much time.
Right.
Put themselves in
Sometimes
front of
it
the
don't
camera.
have to be real perfect. You know, I know a lot of you singer-songwriters are so concerned about everything being exactly perfect and everything. It's like, hey, just be yourself and go on like what you're doing here on the radio. We're talking, we're live, we're extemporaneously, you know, singing the music. This is great. I love it.
Yeah, well, you know, there are a lot of live recordings out there now, but I think I still would like the better material to be out there rather than stuff where the quality of the sound is not so great and that sort of thing, you know.
Right. I know some would be like,
whatever you want.
Yeah. They would get real nervous about like, oh no, whatever you do, don't put that on YouTube or don't put that on Facebook. Oh my gosh, I'm so, you know, but it's like, why? This is you. You know, don't worry about it. It sounds good. You sound good. And not that I'm trying to coax, is that the word, coax? Coax? I'm not trying to coax you into doing a cappella, but if you could, maybe that would be awesome. Is there a chance we could maybe get that?
You want a Christmas song?
Whatever you feel.
Yeah. Oh.
What? Yeah, whatever.
It's a Christmas season.
Should I go on singing, continuing Big D's song?
That would be fine. Whatever you.
Not roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright.
Oh, jazzy.
Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. How was that?
Oh,
sounds like a Christmas angel.
Yeah, that was beautiful. that got me in the Christmas spirit right now. I mean, before I was real close to getting into it, but now I'm into it. You pushed me over the edge. And I don't even have my Christmas lights up or my Christmas tree yet. So
Me either. I don't have a tree yet, nothing.
Yeah.
But maybe next week
You
I'll
don't-
get my act together.
yeah, you really don't need all that decoration stuff. What you just did was beautiful. That's all you need right there.
Yes, that's true.
So did you say you're in New York?
Right now I'm in Greenwood Lake, New York, which is an hour out of New York.
Oh, okay.
Northwest.
Do you have any snow down there or up there?
Oh, yeah. We have about 3 inches of snow.
Wow.
Not crazy bad, because we can get a lot of snow here. But enough to get us into the Christmas spirit.
Right. Well, earlier in the show, she said that she would give us all the snow we wanted. Isn't that what you were saying?
I don't like shoveling snow when it's like 6, 7, 8 inches. Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. Well, we could use a
But you
little
guys
snow
have a
here.
lot of snow here too, right?
No, we haven't had a snow yet here in St. Louis.
Yeah, we need some before Christmas gets here.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to order it.
Yeah, well, maybe you can share us a little bit. Send it our way.
Steve, I've heard of a rain dance. Is there such a thing as a snow dance?
I think there is a song called Snow Dance. Oh, no, wait, that's Snow Blind by Black Sabbath. But there probably is a song called Snow Dance. We can get it.
No.
I don't know. With the song from India, maybe it could be an Indian song. That's a different kind of Indian dance, though.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Indians would do their dance for rain. Yeah. But, yeah. Well,
Maybe the American Indians, I don't know if the East Indians would dance for the rain because they get the bad monsoon rain.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That's usually pretty tragic when they have monsoon rain.
Yeah, and you said you actually lived there for a while, huh?
Yeah, I traveled for a while to India. It was very good for me.
Did you perform there?
It made me stand on my own. Oh, at that time I was not yet ready to do anything. It made me stand on my own 2 feet.
Was it, when I think of India, I think of deserts. Is there a lot of deserts there?
No.
No?
There is desert, but there's also, it's a very, like if you go up where the Himalayan mountains are, it's very green, you know, and in the south it's very green because it's almost tropical down there. And then, you know, below Delhi, there is a desert area called Rajasthan. Now that's real desert.
Okay,
So,
good. Well, you're
depends
painting.
where you are. It's
You're
a big
painting an image.
continent.
You're painting the image for us as we go into the song for India. So it helps to get a visual. I think, didn't you
Yeah.
have some kind of music video about it?
Actually, you know,
You did a really cool music video. Which one was that? Of your title track song?
I have all the videos that I have out are from live performances. So a song for India is not out yet, but I'm thinking about doing something
Yeah.
with that song because
Yeah.
it's just puts you. It has just that atmosphere where you could actually do something really nice.
Mm-hmm. Good visual.
It's good visual.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, we've got DJ Matt McCormick over there. Matt, you want to say goodbye to Gabriele Tranchina?
Yeah. Goodbye, Gabrielle. It was nice hearing your stories and speaking with you and hearing all about your musical journeys and where that's taken you in life. It was quite pleasing to hear.
Thank you. We didn't hear much from you today, but I hope you had a great time. And I hope
Yeah, I
you
did.
had
I
a
was
great
pretty much
time.
just here and being put to work, so listening to the stories of the hosts
Awesome
and you, and it was
time.
great.
Yes, yes. Great. Well, I hope you have a great holiday and a wonderful new year,
Thank you. Same to you.
Yeah, and then we got
wherever you guys go.
we got Jim Ponica that wants to say his badoos.
Yeah, it's nice talking to you. I enjoy your music, and we'll show you a good time if you come to St. Louis.
Great.
Great. Well, I can't wait, guys. And Steve, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And do
Well,
you want to
thank
say
you,
real quick how we can get in touch of your material? You want to say your website or contact info?
I am on. You can go to CD Baby to Amazon.com, or you can go to iTunes. And my name is a bit complicated, so I'm going to spell. My website is GabrieleTranchina.com, and I'm spelling it GABRIELE, last name TRANCHINA. China. And when you visit my website, you can also listen to some of the songs, the clips that we have out.
Super. Well, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and Joe.
Same to you. Same to you.
And thank you so much for calling in and taking time.
To be with you for quite a while.
Yeah.
Spent over an hour together.
Yes. And as we blend into your song for India, we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. What a sounds of voice, a sound of jazz, vocals. Gabriele Tranchina off of her new album of Sailing Ships and the Stars in Your Eyes. And we thank her so much for taking time and calling in and talking about her music and life in general. So we're going to say that's it for this week's show of Space is the Place. And we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. And if I'm back on the air, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. But tune in when you can. Okay. I'm shifting gears to automation. Here we go. Don't run too far.
Do your friends say you have a face for radio? If they do, ditch them and make some new friends here at The U. The U Campus Community Radio is seeking new on-air talent for the fall semester. No experience necessary. Just bring a desire to learn and a positive attitude. Think you got what it takes? Go to www.umslradio.com and join us today. Okay, here we go with the new song from Sheryl Crow, The Dreaming Kind.
I turned off the news again tonight. It's getting hard to watch everyone fight, but every time I turn my face, look if on this earth everybody was kind? Oh, what a different world it'd be if peace was a reality. But how far will we have to fall before we meet destiny? So I'm giving it all I got. There'll be no more wasting precious time. So I'm giving it all I got. Nothing's ever gonna change my mind that we're beautiful inside. Maybe I'm the dreaming kind. Every child is pure until he learns to hate. They watch with innocence and imitate. They say that love can conquer all, but there is no time to So I'm giving it all I got. Even if I cannot change a thing, I'm giving it all I got. Gonna fight to keep remembering that we're beautiful inside. Maybe I'm just the dreaming
Okay, that's Sheryl Crow's new one. And the tragedy in Newtown 5 years ago and the countless lives lost in the mass shooting since have weighed heavily on Cheryl's heart, and she felt compelled to write The Dreaming Kind. So that goes out to all the Sandy Hook Promise people that are, it's a national nonprofit organization, and all the lives that we lost, such young lives. So let's have a moment of silence for them. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Merry Christmas.